things work out best for those who make the best of how things work out. A very good morning to one and all present here. On behalf of Iqrc, New Prince Sri Bhavani College of Engineering and Technology, I take this privilege to warmly welcome you all for NAAC sponsored one-day online seminar on NAAC revised assessment and accreditation framework and approach. To welcome is to show honor, to welcome is to establish integrity. I invite our principal, Dr. T. Saravanan, to deliver the welcome address. Sir?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Distinguished Chairman, Vice Chairman, Director, esteemed speakers, Iqsc coordinators, HODs, faculty member from our institution, participants from other organizations within Tamil Nadu and other than Tamil Nadu. A warm good morning to all of you. Today, on behalf of the New Prince Bhavani College of Engineering and Technology, I welcome you all to this NAAC sponsored one-day online seminar on NAAC revised assessment and accreditation framework and approach, organized by the Iqsc, New Prince Bhavani College of Engineering and Technology. Yeah, special and hearty welcome to our speakers who are here to enlighten us on the NAAC revised assessment. Dr. S. Sivaperumal, Director, Internal Relation and Sponsor Research, Presidency University, Bangalore. Dr. P. Nageswara Rao, Dean, Iqsc, Badhaman College of Engineering, Hyderabad. Dr. S. Murali, Coordinator, Iqsc, Sri Sai Ram Institute of Technology, Chennai. Dr. B. Sundarambal, Head, Department of Computational Intelligence, Chennai Institute of Technology, Chennai. NAAC accreditation determines the quality of the institute in terms of education, faculty, research, and infrastructure, etc. And it gives the confidence to the students that the institute they are selecting is one among the best. I'm proud to say that our institution also got NAAC accredited, and we have grown from the strength to strength since our inception. We have in our campus we have set up 6 center of excellence. It fills the gap between the industry and institute, and also our students has excelled in all curricular, co-curricular, and extracurricular activities. Education is the passport to the future. For tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare for it today. Again, there is no better way than NAAC to ensure the quality in education. I once again welcome you all to this seminar. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, participants.
Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to welcome our Vice Chairman, Mr. L. Naveen Prasad, to deliver the inaugural address. Sir?
Sir, I think you are on mute, sir, please.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Yeah, okay. So, good morning and a very warm welcome to everyone gathered here online. It is my great pleasure to welcome everyone for this inaugural NAAC-sponsored one-day online seminar on revised assessment and accreditation framework, organized by the Internal Quality Assurance Cell of New Prince Bhavani College of Engineering and Technology. I'll also take this opportunity to welcome our guest speakers who are gathered here today, like who will be joining us later throughout the day. So I welcome Dr. S. Sivaperumal, Director, International Relations and Sponsored Research, Presidency University, Bangalore. Dr. P. Nageswara Rao, Dean, Iqsc, Badhaman College of Engineering. Dr. S. Murali, Coordinator, Iqsc, Sri Sai Ram Institute of Technology. Dr. B. Sundarambal, Head, Department of Computational Intelligence, Chennai Institute of Technology. So I'm really happy to welcome the guest speakers who are here to share their knowledge about NAAC accreditation and the revised framework. So this workshop is important for those who want to enable quality initiatives in their institutions. So quality initiatives and evaluation reforms in higher educational institutions in India have been emerging as one of the most important key factors in the assessment and accreditation process. So NAAC has developed a model of assessment and accreditation, and they have revised it in July 2017, according to which The final result is in the form of, as everyone knows, like CGPA, which ranges from 0 to 4, which is a combination of evaluation of qualitative and quantitative metrics with 3 parts, that is including peer team report, graphical representation based on quantitative metrics, and institutional grade sheet. So this seminar on revised NAAC framework will be covered with the help of several objectives that we are trying to bridge. Like the key objective of the seminar will be to build awareness about the NAAC accreditation and its benefits to the higher educational institutions. It also helps to facilitate the techniques relating to qualitative and quantitative metrics of NAAC accreditation framework, and of course to know more about the significance of NAAC, and to also facilitate the exchange of experiences, that is regarding best educational practices for quality enhancement among the participants from various institutions. So I hope this seminar will be of great use to all the participants. And I would also like to thank the National Assessment and Accreditation Council for sponsoring us and giving us the opportunity to conduct this one-day seminar. I also thank the coordinator of Iqsc, Dr. Durga Devi, for organizing this seminar in such a wonderful manner. And I also thank all of our faculty members who have helped in organizing this seminar. And I also hope all the participants have a great and wonderful learning today. And thank you all for being here. Wish you all a very good day. Hema ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Thank you, sir. We have organized the seminar to enlighten about NAAC accreditation and its benefits to higher educational institutions, and to enable the faculty members working in higher educational institutions to understand on revised assessment and accreditation framework of NAAC in an uncomplicated manner. And it's to discuss about the methods associated to quantitative and qualitative metrics of NAAC accreditation framework and its implications. To fulfill the objectives of our seminar, we have divided today's session into 4 sections. Like section 1 deals with the submission of annual quality assurance report. Section 2 deals with the role of Iqsc in quality enhancement. Section 3 deals with qualitative and quantitative metrics of criteria 1 to 4. And the last section deals with the quantitative and qualitative metrics of criteria 5 to 7. Now, I would like to call upon Dr. R. Tangam, Associate Professor of EC Department, to introduce our speaker, Dr. S. Sivaperumal, Director, International Relations and Sponsored Research, Presidency University, Bangalore. Ma'am?
Okay. Good morning. Dr. S. Sivaperumal is a professor in the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering and Director for International Relations and Sponsored Research at Presidency University, Bangalore. Prior to this, he worked as Dean R&D and International Relations at Welltech Deemed University, Chennai. He is an able academic administrator with more than 16 years of experience in the areas of R&D, international relations, international admissions, placement, corporate relations, entrepreneurships, TBI, and accreditations and NRF ranking. He has traveled more than 14 countries towards strengthening international collaborations and signed MOAs with more than 210 institutions across 36 countries. His other experience include contribution to skill development of as SPOC of National Skill Development Corporation, revamping the alumni engagements, phasing committees of UGC and MHRD for deemed to be university status. He has served the statutory apex committees such as Board of Management, Academic Council, Finance Committee, Iqac and Planning and Managing Board. He has also served as member of NAAC Steering Committee and NBA Program Coordinator. He completed his doctoral degree in the area of communication systems under the Department of ECE and published more than 35 research papers. He has completed projects worth more than 2 crore rupees from Ministry of Defense, Government of India. He has organized 5 international conferences with more than 30 international speakers. and with funding from DST and DRDO. He is also a reviewer of reputed journals like IEEE, Elsevier, WC's Unifying the Science and Engineering, etc. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would like to invite the first speaker of our session, Dr. S. Sivaperumal, sir, to carry over the session. Sir?
So, yeah, thank you very much. Good morning to all of you. At the outset, I would like to thank the institution and the management for giving me this opportunity to talk about the NAAC, especially on AQAR, Annual Quality Assurance Report. So thanks for the detailed introduction. It's my great pleasure and privilege to be part of this wonderful event, which is sponsored by NAAC. So maybe here I'm little odd man out to start with, because if you look at other speakers, everybody is directly connected to the NAAC. They are serving as a dean director at the Iqac, so they are directly connected. But I'm little different in this case because I'm not directly associated with the Iqac, but I've been supporting various activities. I served in the NAAC steering committee of the institution. Maybe I just thought before getting into, yeah, I will skip this. Actually, if you look at Iqac, the functions of Iqac, which is going to be the next session, all the quality assurance parameters or the accreditation and ranking requires inputs and data from all the functional areas, in addition to all the departments of either engineering or all the arts and science or whatever it is. More importantly, different functional areas, which includes academics, placement or career cell, which encourages higher education, research and development cell, something connected to infrastructure, something connected to governance, in addition to various other parameters, which includes alumni connects and all those various parameters. Broadly, these are the different functional areas. How I am going to contribute in this webinar, in this seminar, one-day seminar on NAAC, AQR especially, is maybe I'm not in the center of the picture what you indicated. I'm not part of Iqac, but it's my great privilege to work in various divisions, which includes R&D, placement. I had worked rigorously on OB implementation and choice-based credit system, because if you wanted to work in placement or research or any other division, you need to have a thorough knowledge of academics, how the credit structure varies, how we can introduce a new category of course, how we can introduce a different type of curriculum. All those are very important. So with that, so I was able to work maybe as in the governance. I served in the board of management, which is the top board in any university. Maybe that's a decision-making authority. I was a member of that for 2 continuous terms, and maybe so having these experiences, so I am going to give little different perspective than a member of Iqac, because maybe predominantly people, there are difference of opinion, like Iqac collects data or they implement a lot of quality initiatives. So that's a very big question to answer. Definitely Iqac functioning is going to be talked next. They are more of what you say, they are not just a data collection center. They are taking a lot of initiatives. They are supposed to take a lot of initiatives in the Iqac. So the odd man here, I'm going to talk in terms of data providing from different perspective, like placement, research and all those perspective, than a collection of data from Iqac. So that's where I'm little different from the others. Maybe that's, and other thing which I noticed in the schedule, maybe if you look at the process of NAAC in total, if you look at the complete process of NAAC, start from submission of IAQA and submission of SSR and pre-visit qualifier, so 30% of marks should be sold, and peer team visit and grant of NAAC and setting up of Iqac, and then submission of AQR. But here the session is scheduled in a different way. I am starting with AQR, which is going to be after the NAAC accreditation, after the Iqac setting up. So now, so I am going to start a little reverse, because maybe it's a big advantage for me. Also, it is a slightly disadvantage for me, because if you wanted to talk about AQR, if you have a clear idea of SSR, nothing different from SSR. So if you are thorough in SSR, I have gone through all the 3 especially like affiliated college AQR submission, autonomous college AQR submission, and the deemed university or the university AQR submission. If you look at the parameter, each one by one, maybe like metrics, especially like criteria and metric, especially specific metrics. If you look at if you look at criteria, key indicator, and metrics, these are the three different things we look at. Metrics are in a detailed way, 6.1.1, for example, all those are called metrics in general. So if you look at the metrics of SSR and the metrics of AQAR, there is zero difference in that. Then there are slight differences which I am going to talk about. So if you know SSR, if you already submitted SSR, the submission of AQR is not going to be a big deal because it is exactly the same, but SSR is going to be for 5 years, but AQR is going to be 1 year. Why AQR is very crucial? It is going to be very, very crucial in the time to come, because NAAC is evolving every time. Every time if you do, there is a lot of revision. Even every day there is an update in the manual. Every day there is an update in AQR. Every day there is an update in the reports. You can see every day there is an update in the pair team visit guideline. So the AQR is going to be very crucial in at least in another 1 year, because earlier the AQR is submitted without much attention, just like that they submit some data. But now, if you wanted to go for second cycle of NAAC, AQR is going to be the important document. So the NAAC will be in a position to identify what is the mistake you made. Maybe every year they are going to collect the same data what you are supposed to submit in the SSR. When you submit after the first cycle of NAAC, maybe from the second cycle, when you submit SSR, the AQR is going to be reviewed very seriously. Every year you are going to submit AQAR, the same data should be replicated in the second cycle of SSR. So it is going to be very crucial. At this point, it is not taken very seriously. Till date, it is just a data, but the process is going to be very tough in the down the line. That's what submission of AQR is one of the very key thing in getting second cycle of NAAC, not for the first cycle of NAAC. So maybe there are three different aspects which you have taken, maybe which you are aware very well. Number one, university, autonomous, and affiliated colleges. Affiliated colleges, UG and PG. I have just done a survey of all the three in detailed way. So I'm going to cover maybe a balance between all those three, because I'm not quite sure how many of you representing university, how many of you representing autonomous institution, how many of you representing affiliated colleges. So my talk maybe between university and affiliated colleges, because autonomous lies in between those two. So it will be between those two. That's the preamble which I'm giving. So obviously whatever I'm talking is readily available in the NAAC website. Nothing new I'm going to talk. So thanks to NAAC for providing all the information website. I've just collected, I've just compiled the information from NAAC website. So thanks to NAAC. So you don't think I have made some new things. I just compiled the process what is being dictated in the NAAC. I'm just going to replicate. So maybe it's a preamble, maybe it's well known to you. Before I get into AQR in a short way, maybe AQR is what SSR, the people are going to talk next to me, the further speakers, whatever they talk, it's going to be the AQR. So what I just thought, instead of straight away going into AQR, which is I'm going to cover it in a small portion, I thought I will run through the process of NAAC and where it is very important, where we need to concentrate, how the metrics are modified, where we need to concentrate. I'm just going to give a very broad spectrum of NAAC process and all those. Instead of AQR, I will talk at the end in a small way. So as you all know, the process is very systematic, well defined, and well disciplined. The process is going very tough now, right? So it is to maintain the quality status of the institution. So that's what you are all here, to maintain the quality status. So the usual word which everybody uses, the quality assurance is not for accreditation or ranking. The quality initiatives are not only for accreditation or ranking. So by this way, I just remember one of the very familiar NAAC committee chairman. He was, when I was talking to him, he says once he met a set of students and faculty member, including faculty member. The faculty member and students feel, why not the NAAC process could be done every year? Why the question is, so it's a common, it's not to blame anybody. Before NAAC process starts, before NAAC accreditation comes, maybe if you assume the NAAC is NAAC inspection is almost in the month of December. The faculty, student, everybody gets like maybe I should not say the full salary. Students get all those problems get it started for the last 6 months. Right from June, they do all the things without familiar. So the chairman was hearing from students and faculty. He was telling me like faculty are telling, why not you do NAAC process every year, because so that we will not have any problem in the institution. Similarly, students were telling, why not the NAAC process happens every year, so that all the problems of students could be fixed, because we directly survey from students and faculty. So institution also have a fear what students will say, what faculty will say to the committee and all those. So the students mentality is like, why not the NAAC process to be done every year? Maybe it could be based on that input or something like that. Now it's almost every year. The AQR is almost done like a NAAC process every year. So data is going to be collected, like feedback is going to be analyzed, everything is done ditto of NAAC process, but for 1 year. That's all is about AQR. So what is signifies the AQR? What is the necessity of AQR? So as I said, as I earlier indicated, the significance of AQR is kept increasing. Every time the AQR importance is going to be increased, right? It's going to be very crucial in your second cycle of NAAC, right? Whatever AQR you fill, whatever data you give in AQR is exactly going to be useful for the second cycle of NAAC. There is also an advantage for the institution, also the advantage for Iqac members and faculty member or the leadership who's working for accreditation. So you don't have to work very detailed way again to collect the data at the end of 5 years, because you are going to collect the data every year. So it's going to be a very smooth process even for the faculty member and the member in Iqac. So if the institution follows AQR in a very disciplined way, very strict way, so second cycle of NAAC is going to be very easy, because the data what you are going to be using for every year you are going to have 5 blocks of data you are going to use. So compilation of all the 5 is going to be the further cycle. It could be second or further cycle. So if AQR is followed very strictly, so the work of Iqac becomes very minimal, because you already collect the data. As I said, so data validation is going to happen. At this point, whatever is the data we submit are not validated. Please understand, at AQR, maybe SSR, they started validating, there is a third-party validation, right? At this point, AQR is not being validated. Whatever is the data we submit, but already DVV has come, already the Excel sheet format is ditto as SSR. The data is collected in the same format what is being given. But in the AQR, if you've gone through the online portal of AQR, if you start filling the data, it will ask for some 10 data, right? If you have more than 10 data, they advise you to upload Excel. This is the AQR format which you must be following online. So once you start filling the data in the AQR portal, in the institution online portal of NAAC, so you are, for example, if you talk about placement, for example, one example I'm just giving. So you will be asked to fill, if the data is more than 10, please upload Excel. But it generates error at the end. If you submit AQR, it generates, in this data you have not filled any data, because it says the instruction is, if the data is less than 10, you can fill in the 10 different rows. If the data is more than 10, you need to upload the Excel sheet, right? So once you submit in that format straight away without filling any data here, it generates an error. You get an automated message, this data is not completely filled. So what NAAC people advise us when we call and check up, so they are asking you to fill at least one data in the online portal and then upload the remaining data in the Excel. But my sincere advice is you fill all the 10 data there and then upload the Excel sheet. It will have a lot of impact in the future. Please fill all the 10 data and then upload the Excel also in addition. That's going to be very important thing. So as I said, the data validation is not happening at this point for AQAR, but I'm very sure, I'm 100% confident in a quick time that's going to happen. The data validation, what you submit every year, is also going to happen. So the NAAC process is going to be very smooth even from NAAC side also, because the data is validated every year. There is no big challenge to do at the end of 5 years. So that it's going to be, so you cannot cook any data after 5 years. So that's going to be the AQAR. Whatever is the fill data, if there is a controversy between these two data, if there is a difference between these two data, definitely you will be questioned. Definitely the peer team or the NAAC team will have a lot of doubt on you, because if you have not projected the AQR in the 1 year data, if you are adding it in the 5th year, at the end of 5 years, that's going to be a controversy of data. So please follow the AQR very strictly. Take it very seriously, because that's going to be the next cycle of NAAC. Whatever is the data you fill in this are going to be useful there. If there is a difference, definitely committee will think you have done some fabrication, you have done, maybe you can in recent time, it is you can see very easily in the websites, lot of institutions blocked. Lot of institutions are blocked are debarred of taking up NAAC. So even I don't know whether you have seen, just 2 days ago, maybe 2-3 days ago, some of the reviewers were blacklisted. One from Chennai, right? So the committee member was blacklisted in doing NAAC inspection. One from Chennai, one from, I think, Bangalore. 2 of them were blacklisted from NAAC review committees. So it is going to be very tough task for everybody, but tough in the sense you cannot do anything beyond. Whatever is the process, whatever is system, it is to be followed very strictly. That's what is going to be very crucial. AQR is going to be very crucial. So it's just before getting into this, at least I thought I'm the first speaker, at least I should give a broad spectrum of NAAC, how it happens, what is the process and all those. So as all of you must be very familiar, the process starts with institutional information for quality, IAQA submission by online, and you need to pay certain fees for it. And once your IAQA is approved, right, once you submit, it's a basic information like profile of the institution, some detail, some extended profile of the institution, some various data you are supposed to fill in the IAQA. Once you submit IAQA, whether it is first cycle or second cycle or any further cycles, within maybe almost, it says within 30 days you will be approved with IAQA, or you will be asked various queries. In IAQA, it's not straight away accepted. They ask for various queries, and if it is, there is a chance also getting rejected. Even it is getting rejected, you have a chance to again resubmit within 6 months. Even 2 times you can resubmit the IAQA again. Once IAQA is approved, you need to submit SSR within 45 days. That's very, very crucial. I know few institutions struggled a lot to submit SSR because the time frame which is given to submit SSR after IAQA approval is just 45 days. I'm very sure even that's going to be further reduced. Even when I spoke to some of the members from NAAC, even there is a chance it's going to be reduced. So the simple advice to be followed is, before you submit IAQA, before you submit full IAQA, prepare your complete SSR. Right, there can be final touch-up, final update, final verification, all those can happen. But if you start preparing SSR after IAQ approval, you will not complete the process. You will be rejected from the NAAC for the first stage. So before you submit IAQA, make sure SSR is ready. At least 95% you should be ready. So you may have some slight modification, slight update, slight verification, and then submit SSR. So if you submit IAQA, you are supposed to complete SSR and submit, so as to have a very smooth functioning of the work. Otherwise, everybody will have a lot of stress. IQAC member will have a lot of stress. IQAC director or coordinator will have a lot of stress. The principal or leadership team will have a lot of stress. The department will have a lot of stress. So to avoid, before submitting IAQA, please prepare SSR and then submit IAQA. So because within 45 days, you need to submit SSR. Now you know very well the SSR, the metrics are divided quantitative and qualitative. Right, approximately, not exactly, that I'm going to cover. Quantitative is close to 70%. For affiliated colleges, it's close to 67.5. For the university, it is little above 70%. So quantitative parameter is 70%, qualitative parameter is 30%. So you must be very well aware due to this RAF, which is the topic of our webinar, Revised Accreditation Assessment Framework, which I will talk also a little about RAF in the further slide. As per the new RAF, there is a quantitative and qualitative. Very clear detail is given. The peer team visit. Sorry to hear earlier, the peer team visit, we know how to manage, right? We know how to manage the people. Now the peer team visit have only 30% weightage, even less than 30% weightage if you talk about the autonomous institution and university. Peer team visits scope is just restricted to 30%. They do not have any power to rank more than that. If you read the manual of the reviewer, maybe the reviewers, there is assessor manual. You can also go through peer team visit assessor review. I have gone through in detail. It says you are not supposed to look at the quantitative parameter unless otherwise NAAC give some instruction. If the NAAC says this quantitative parameter to be verified, if they give only, the peer team visit can look at the quantitative parameter. Otherwise, their scope is only limited to this qualitative parameter, which is about 30% of the total weightage. So the remaining 70% is going to be decided before even the team visits. 70% is going to be decided well before the peer team visit comes to campus. So it's going to be DVV process. Whatever the Excel sheet and the PDF uploaded, that's going to be verified by systematic way. It is verified by a third party. You would have seen in recent time, colleges from Andhra Pradesh, especially, they were debarred from the NAAC process because they fabricated the data. It is an automated process. The system verifies the document. Please be very careful in uploading the documents, because it's going to be automated verification. You cannot do any fabrication or something, right? So the other thing is, for example, if the placement, for example, you have some 500 students, maybe 1,000 students. Let us say you say 800 students are placed in a certain company, or total company placement is 800 students we have already placed. So you may think, how do we upload all the 800 offer letters? It is a mandatory to upload 800 offer letters at least in your website. If you don't upload it in the NAAC website, if you feel the file is very huge, you can always give a link of the offer letter. You can connect it to your website. Please make sure every document which is asked, if you are telling 850 placement, you need to upload all 850 offer letters at least in your website. At this point, it is not required to be very public, but it is always required. But you can always connect to your website, because you may have restriction in terms of uploading of data. So the DVV process is automated. If you score 30% in DVV, the data verification, the quantitative parameter, then only peer team visit is going to happen. So this is about simple. So it is a timeline, how the process flow happens. Again, it is taken from the NAAC website. It's also available for you. You can also go through. So you can see online registration, IAQA submission, and there is a query, there is a clarification. All this happens in IAQA, and within 45 days you are supposed to submit SSR, and then the pre-assessment qualification. It's 30% you should score for fixing up peer team visit. And once it's done, the peer team will verify the qualitative parameter, and then the grading is given. And after that, AQR process of submission. There is also appeal process that I'm not going to talk about, because I think further the people will be talking about. So the importance here is, once the peer team visit is in your campus, there are certain things which we need to look at, especially the qualitative parameter, which we will talk a little in here. This is a detailed process I've just taken from other website, what's being there. So now let me cover a little about the RAF, Revised Assessment and Accreditation Framework. RAF, it is implemented in July 2017, right? And what was the change from the previous framework to the new version? Maybe most of you must be familiar. It may be useful for few of you, maybe one or two who are not familiar about the process. I'm just explaining, but remaining people may please excuse me, because I just thought let me touch upon certain things and then go into the AQR. So the earlier framework and the new framework, it is revised RAF, Revised Assessment and Accreditation Framework. The difference is, earlier it is more of qualitative peer judgment. The peer team who visits decides what you are supposed to score, what you will be scoring. So you will be surprised to see in the results of NAAC, in the grading of NAAC, institutions scored 2.99. You can just think, if they just score 3, their category is A. Many institutions scored 2.99. I can show you certain examples, right? If you look at the peer team judgment, that will not happen generally, because the peer team adjusts the data to add 1 point, so get it to NAAC. But now there is no such a thing. It is completely systemized. You will see institutions scoring 2.99, 2.98. A lot of, even Tamil Nadu recently, institutions scored 2.99, got B++ instead of A. Just by 0.01 mark, they missed the A category, right? It happens because it's a systemized process. Nobody interferes there, right? So from qualitative peer judgment, it has become data-based quantitative evaluation. So which increases the objectivity and transparency. The transparency is now very good in terms of accreditation is my view. Right. So there will be difference of opinion, but I am talking about in a broad spectrum. And the other important thing is, it is completely transformed into ICT, right? ICT conforming, the scalability and robustness is going to be not going to be a problem. It is very easy. It's completely converted as an online process, right? So there's also the simplification of process. The number of questions, the number of points are drastically reduced, especially the visit days. The peer team visit days also reduced nowadays, and the peer team visit members also got reduced in terms. The size of report which they submit, if you look at the peer team visit, they do two things. Number one, peer team report, which will be shown to the principal also. Number two, there is also a grading system, right? So that grading system will be filled in online, that will not be given to institution. But there are two things which is followed. The report which will be have like SWOT analysis, all those will be done. That will be taken approval of the head of the institution, principal or director or vice chancellor. The report is signed by the principal also, the head of the institution also. So it is very transparent. What the review committee is going to report is already signed by the head of the institution. And the second part is the grade card, grade sheet, or it is called. That's little confidential, what they will fill it in the online. And so in the recent RAF, there are a lot of international quality assessment frameworks are considered. It is benchmarked with various international quality frameworks, which includes Audit, which includes Iit Accreditation, which includes lot other accreditation process. And so the one important component in the RAF introducing the pre-qualifier, which is 30% you should score for peer team visit. If you score less than 30%, no peer team visit will happen. So you are there itself, you are rejected. Right. So the score is more system generated score. There is no manual process. 70% of the mark is judged in the online. So the peer judgment happens only for 30%. And the DVV, the third party validation, is one of the key elements which was introduced in this RAF. And there is a clear difference which metric is, what is a metric, how much weightage, what is the benchmarking. They have given very detailed way, university, autonomous college. Earlier it was almost like considered same, but now even though earlier there was a difference, but now there is a very clear category that which is what university should follow, colleges should follow. Similarly, if you look at AQR manual, submission of AQR manual, which the topic which is given to me, even very detailed way it is given even for different types of colleges, AQR, right? So it's already available in the website. Now the metrics also have a lot of importance for participation of students and alumni in the assessment process. These are a few things. So just to give you how the process happens. So if you look at the revised assessment and accreditation framework, RAF, introduced in July 2017, right from 1st July 2017 till yesterday, you can see the number of institutions which has undergone assessment is 2011. You can see the number of institutions accredited with A++, it just 44 institutions with just 1.8%, which is of total strength, right? So A++ was scored by just less than 2% of the institution, and A+ is scored by 6%, close to 135 institutions. Similarly, you can see different category. More importantly, you can see the midline here, right? You can see the midline here. You can see the midline here, which exactly creates one half and second half. You can see many institutions fall under the category of B+ and B and C category. So now the process is very tough, right? So the remaining things, so any institution will dream to have at least A, in my opinion, right? At least A or at least A, any institution will aim. But if you look at the percentage, it is just close to 20%, less than 20% of the institution only scored either A++ and A++ among 2011 institution. The data is still yesterday. This is available in NAAC website again. It's not my calculation. So if you look at the other important thing, if you look at the category wise, how the affiliated colleges, autonomous colleges, universities have performed in the recent RAF. If you look at it, is only in Tamil Nadu, for example. I have taken Tamil Nadu institutions. I have taken the data from NAAC website. I have analyzed it. If you look at this process, you can see the A++ graded institution in the college level. It is just 9 institutions out of 208. If you look at university, 6 out of 19. You can see the ratio of A++ accredited thing, right? So I will have my view at the end after this slide. You can see the colleges, the affiliated colleges, the number is increasing. You can see the number is increasing. A++ is very less institution. The grade reduces, the number of institution reduces. On the other side, if you look at the university, the institution count is reducing by the grade increases. So a lot of university scores very good grade. That's what is my understanding. And a lot of colleges are not scoring very well in the top grades. Their more numbers are at the lower grades. You can see more institution and B++ and B, lot of institution. So one more easy to understand thing, which I just made it in the Excel. So you can see where the peak, you can see in the arts and science category of affiliated colleges, the peak is at, I think, B, the B grade, lot of institution scores. Just to be very sure, you can look at these last two rows, which recently, it is only Tamil Nadu institution till yesterday, whatever is ranking till happened yesterday, I have collected from the website and then I just analyzed for my understanding. You can see it is here, it is A++. First is A++, here it is C. So you can see the number of institutions increasing there, because it means A++ is going to be very less institution and the grade reduces, number of institution goes up. But if you look at the university category, you can just see it is sliding down. So more institutions are scoring higher grade, lesser institutions are scoring lower grade. It has a lot of information. It has a lot of connectivity with the assessment process, which I will talk about in the further slides. Right. So just to give you overall idea about the criteria and the key indicator and the metrics, how I remember, maybe it is everyone to remember. It is always a curricular aspects. The university and autonomous colleges have curriculum development, design and development, but the affiliated colleges have curriculum planning and implementation. It doesn't mean the curriculum planning and implementation is not so important in university and autonomous college. It has a lot of relevance, but it is categorized as only 4 parameters. But if you look at them, start from design of curriculum or implementation of curriculum, how flexible it is, how enriched it is, how employability skills are taught, and feedback from the stakeholders. So if you can remember in that way, if you look at the next thing, teaching, learning, evaluation. So how the process goes, how the key indicators are formulated. It starts from student enrollment, how the students enroll, diversity of students, and connecting students and faculty is teaching learning process. How the students are connected to faculty is teaching learning process. And once it is connected, about the teacher quality, what is there, how many PhD, what is the faculty ratio, what is the experience of faculty, all those are taught. And once the faculty comes, they evaluate the students' performance, evaluation process. And after evaluation, student performance is analyzed, and then student satisfaction survey. It is almost like a cycle. If you take in-depth understanding of each of them, you can easily correlate with each other. It starts from student enrollment, it ends up with student satisfaction survey, right? In between, their diversity is analyzed, the teaching process is analyzed, teacher quality is analyzed, and evaluation. Like this, it goes. Maybe the things are detailed way there. It's going to be talked in the further sessions. So I will just cover in a broader way. And research and innovation, very important parameter for universities, especially universities, and also certain level in autonomous institutions. If you look at the second, lot of weightage is given to the affiliated colleges. The university have little less weightage, but in the research and innovation, university and autonomous have a lot of weightage. So if you look at, it's close to almost 1/4 of the score is from the research innovation for the university category. So also it is a cycle. You can easily correlate between key indicators 1 to till end. So you can see promotion of research, how it is a policy related. If you look at the policy to the outcome, the cycle, if you look at the research, innovation, extension, the policy formulation, how the institute promotes a policy on research thing, that's a policy related things. And then how the investment happens, how the resource mobilization happens in terms of research, and the ecosystem, how the system functions in the system. The promotion of research and the innovation system is not applicable to the affiliated colleges. Right, the affiliated colleges are exempted in 3 different things. One is promotion of research, innovation, and consultancy, which is star marked or not applicable to affiliated institutions. So if you look at the result of all the 3, the policy, the infrastructure, and the system, the ecosystem or the environment. If you look at all the 3, definitely the research publication awards is going to be very good. If all the 3 are good, it's going to be very good, right? So it follows a cycle again. So as outcome of research publication and awards, what do? We get some consultancy projects. We do some extension activities to serve the society, right? We do a lot of society related works. Those are connected. And we also get collaborated to various institutions. Again, it is a cycle you can follow. Policy, the infrastructure, the ecosystem or the environment, and the results, maybe faculty's results, and as a result, further results, how it is connected to society, how it is connected to collaboration. It is a cycle again. So similarly, everything follows a very clear thing. Maybe hats off to NAAC for formulating such a clear thing. So physical infrastructure, you can see as an institution, you see the previous long back institution started only with the buildings and then library. And then now recently Iit infrastructure plays a very important role. So again, you can follow, there is a very sequence way, which as if it happens, right? Any institution start constructing the physical facilities, building, and then the learning resources for library, and then Iit infrastructure. It's a sequence again, and how they are being maintained. Similarly, the student progression, how you support students, how the student progress, how the student participate, and after student passed out from the institution, how they are being engaged. Similarly, if you look at the parameter 4, 6, 7, all the three are exactly equal to all the three. There is no difference between. Maybe these are all, you must be very well aware. I'm just giving, because this is the first session which I just thought if I touch upon, it will give some fair idea about, it will be helpful for me to the further discussions. So let me skip. This is already available in the NAAC. You can see the number of parameter. There is a vast difference in the quantitative metric. This is how I am connecting to the accreditation results, accreditation grade, which I presented, especially the Tamil Nadu data, what I presented. Number of institution affiliated colleges got A++, number of university got A++. So there is a very clear correlation between the quantitative matrix. So if it means, if the control over the qualitative matrix, maybe let me go to the next one so that you will understand it in a better way, right? This is about the qualitative and quantitative metric for university category. You can see the NAAC peer team have only 264, like 26% weightage only have qualitative. So lesser the weightage the peer team have, there is a chance of higher grading, is my own observation from the grading. So if you see the colleges, the qualitative metric weightage increases, it means the peer team visit weightage increases, so the grading reduces. So there is, that's my personal understanding from what's being done. So if you compare all the three affiliated autonomous universities in qualitative metrics and the quantitative metrics, you can clearly see that the weightage reduces in qualitative metrics, the weightage increases in quantitative metrics. So see, I'm just correlating with the grading of institutions. So higher grades are acquired by the universities, right? So the affiliated colleges, very less number of colleges score very top grades. So there is a clear correlation. So the peer team visit is going to impact a lot in the affiliated colleges than the university, right? So the more the affiliated, the more the qualitative parameter, the peer team is going to have a lot of role. That's what is what I'm trying. I have inferred from the statistics what I have seen. So you can, this is just you can see in especially in the last two criterions, the qualitative parameters are more than quantitative parameters. That's one important thing which you should note. I will just skip all those because it's going to be talked in detail. Because but why I added all this? This is what is AQAR, but for 1 year. That's the only difference. Same data, ditto. I have seen exactly ditto parameters are asked, including the numbers. There is not even one number was changed. See, if it is 1.1.1, still 1.1.1. There is no, every numbering is same between SSR and AQAR. So if you know SSR, nothing much to understand AQAR. The only key is how you take AQAR, how you interpret the data in AQAR. That's what I'm going to cover. These are going to be talked in detail in the further sessions. It's going to come. So let me skip all those because these are going to be detailed talked in the further sessions. So now we come the AQAR. So now once you are accredited with NAAC, once you are graded with NAAC, now it comes the AQAR. If the institution is reappearing for NAAC, that is where the picture comes into play. There is a prerequisite, there is a eligibility. You should have a Iqac, which is going to be talked in detail in the next session. Importance of Iqac, I'm sure he is going to talk in a detailed way. Definitely if you look at the entire manual, AQAR is termed as annual self-reviewed progress report, right? There is a word in the manual what is being given by the NAAC, right? So AQAR, which is called annual self-reviewed progressions report. That's a self-explanatory, nothing much to explain there. Annual self-reviewed progress report. You yourself can grade. In my opinion, the members who are attending here, especially from the Iqac cell, the leadership team who are attending the session, every year you make it a point to review your progress as like NAAC, how the NAAC is evaluating, you can just review in the same way. How much score do you score? Even in my opinion, you can formulate an internal committee, even you can have an external member to evaluate your institution's annual performance exactly as like NAAC. How much CGPA you score in that year? You can clearly calculate. It will give a lot of input to the leadership, because where you lag, which criteria you have not scored, how to improve in the further. Because once you get in the 1 year, first year you get the report, like CGPA, you get almost some 2.5. You will have a clear indication what are all the places we lag. Definitely you can formulate the further year plans. So in the AQR, it says what was the plan by IQAC, how it was executed in the year end. So there is a clear comparison. So the AQR of this academic year will be very useful to formulate the next year's goal, like next year's initiatives. It is going to have a lot of impact. So AQR, if the institution takes it very seriously, I'm very sure it is a self-diagnostic. In my opinion, the AQR is a self-diagnostic for NAAC's further cycle, right? If the institution takes it very serious, you assume that's a NAAC inspection by the some external member or a team which you comprise. You can fix a team which reviews, which knows all the detail. Let them look at in detail. You don't mind spending too much time, because you will very clearly have at the end what is expected. You once have a internal review or internal committee or some committee which you formulate. What is the expected results of the committee? The committee should talk what are things expected in the next year, where the university should concentrate or the institution to concentrate in the years to come, how to increase certain parameter gradings, how to increase the mark in certain parameter. That kind of report will be very useful for the institution. The IQAC team will play a vital role in this process. So this is already talked about. Maybe I will not touch upon. Earlier it was called LOI. Now it's changed as IAQA. So the rest of the steps are going to be same. This is the post NAAC. So AQR, as I said, it is a mandatory, right? AQR is a mandatory for second and subsequent cycle. If you wanted to go for second and subsequent cycle without submitting AQR, you cannot apply. You cannot even go to IAQA, right? So as I said, we already talked about RAF. It is in tune with the new methodology. AQR is exactly same as the same. So yearly AQR is going to help a lot in NAAC further cycle. So you take it very seriously. You are very well aware AQR to be submitted from 1st June to 31st May of every year. The deadline for submission of AQR is 31st December normally, right? You take 1920 year, it was extended. Maybe in the sense, even the academic year was not considered till 31st May, it was taken till 31st December, right? So it almost 1.5 year time frame was given, because 6 months we did not do anything. So that those things you need to clear. Please follow the deadline very strictly, because it's now, earlier it was just sending mail. We used to send a mail, the NAAC accepts, so we talk, there is a chance to negotiate and all those, but now it's online process. Even the response is automated now, right? So you have to be very careful in submitting the AQR before deadline, right? So the other prerequisite for AQR, the institution should have a functional IQAC. I am sure the institution who got NAAC already would have already established IQAC. More importantly, the IQAC meetings, right? There is the cycle of meetings and the composition of IQAC, all these will be reviewed very seriously, right? More importantly, the minutes of meeting of IQAC should be uploaded in the institutional website, right? More importantly, you need to compile what is a major decision taken, what is the initiative taken from the IQAC meeting, right? So you can see in the institution website AQR to be uploaded very regularly. So the guideline for submission of AQR. So it is going to be only 1 year data, right? Please look at, before submitting AQR, which format to be followed, because there are a lot of formats now given, right? Please don't get into wrong data and then again do it. Please follow the right format, which is UG affiliated college, PG affiliated college, autonomous, even educational, like college which offers education related studies, even pharmacy. There are separate formats for each, very clearly given. Please follow correct format. Again, So the revised format is applicable from the last academic year 2021, right? So please make sure the supporting documents are also uploaded. When you do the data template, it is not just Excel sheet. As like NAAC, you need to provide the supporting documents, documentary evidences, right? So please make sure these are all compiled every year so that your process is also becoming very easy in the further year, right? So as I said, the only thing is qualitative responses. Maybe here you need to record only 100 to 200 words against the regular SSR. And if the institution, after submission of AQR, the NAAC asks some clarification and some questions connected to this. You are supposed to respond in a quick time, right? There will be 3 reminders. If you don't respond, the AQR, even if it is wrongly submitted, if there is a fabrication in AQR, for example, if you have not responded to the query raised by NAAC, it is going to be as such accepted. So you are going to be blacklisted only due to AQR. So we need to be very careful in this submission of AQAR. Right, so AQR after first cycle should provide previous link AQAR. What I do in the first year, if you submit first year, you need to give a link of AQR submitted last year. In there, you need to give the SSR link, right? So in the further years, when you submit AQR, the previous year AQR link to be given and the web link to be given. As I said, when you submit first year, SSR link to be given instead of AQAR. Right, so it is just a self-explanatory. As like IAQA or SSR, what to submit, the information what is to be asked. I'll just skip all those to save a lot of time. This data of institution is primarily captured from IAQA, right? I'll just skip data of IQA's establishment and list of funds provided. So you can see the list of funds provided is taken every year. So you don't think at the end of 5 years we can add certain funds. Hello. Hello. Okay. Is it okay? So there are other parameters. Let me skip. It is a mandatory to have Iqsc. Iqsc, you need to fill the survey of Iqsc conducted by AICT. It is a mandatory condition, right? So same the data's number of programs, number of students, and number of reservation seats filled, faculty member, and the sanctioned post. These are the extended profile of the institution, which is asked in AQR, which is almost similar to the IAQA's or SSR. Number of seminar hall, classroom, number of computer, and all those are asked. In the extended profile, the number of the projects here it is asked. It's already it has come. So here you can see this is all about part A in the AQR, only primary information. The part B is what is going to be talked in the criteria wise, criteria 1, curricular aspect, teaching learning process, research. All these are going to be part B, which I will not touch in detail because that's going to be covered in the by the further speakers. So what is SSR against AQR? Just to comparison, it is just a ditto. There is no change in any metric. Completely the same metrics which is there in SSR. You are just going to fill it, but instead of 5 years, we will fill for 1 year for the last academic year. When the year comes, we need to remember certain things. Either it is NARF or NAAC or NBA, there are 3 different years we follow. Number 1, academic year, you are very familiar, right? When you talk about funding, it is always financial year. Even though we say academic year, when we talk about funding, it is always financial year. We will not follow academic year. When we talk about publications, it is always calendar year, not academic year, not financial year. There are 3 different years which we need to follow. The academic schedule and all those are regular academic year. The financial related funded project, anything, it is going to be financial year. And the publication count, maybe if you take Scopus, it gives every year, 2020, 2021, it will not talk academic year or any other year. So we also need to follow the same 3 different years we need to follow: academic year, financial year, calendar year. So certain things are followed only for calendar year, certain things are for financial year, certain things are for academic year. So here SSR is 5 year, here again just 1 year. So if you see many of the metrics, if you ask average number of, it will be in SSR in the last 5 years, but in AQR, it will be number of, just to give the number of students participated in the extension activities. In the SSR, you will ask average number of students participated in extension activities in last 5 years. In AQR, number of students participated in the extension activity in the last year. That's it. Similarly, percentage of students took part, like percentage of students placed, average of percentage of students placed. Here, number of students placed. It is almost same, but average to simple number, percentage to simple number. So here I have come, which are the high scoring parameters, especially for the colleges. If you look at below 20, it is more than 10 and 15, a lot of 15 related. So the number of new courses introduced is having 30 marks. Student satisfaction survey have 30 marks. Best practices have 30 marks. And in the curriculum development, 20% of program, it is more in the curricular related, and institutional distinctiveness, there is a 20 mark. These are the high scoring things in the NAAC for the affiliated institutions. Similarly, for the university, you can see a lot of parameter which are high scoring, right? So 60 for students satisfaction survey, it is 60. Similarly, you can see few 30, lot of 20 related things. FSR have a lot of weightage. Average enrollment percentage, to best practices, it has full number of full-time teacher with PhD, all have the higher weightages compared to the affiliated colleges. So what is the non-applicable metrics? I think this is one important aspect which we should understand. There is one thing called non-applicable matrix, right? Non-applicable metrics, sorry, non-applicable metrics. Many of us did not notice this. For affiliated colleges, this is not applicable to universities and also for autonomous institutions. For affiliated colleges, the institution can say these parameters are not applicable to us, including placement. If you look at the parameter, I've seen affiliated colleges can say the placement is not applicable to us. So, but there is a limit. The maximum weightage of metrics that can be opted out. The institution can opt out of certain parameters. Could be 30. The maximum of 30 metrics, we can say we are not interested. In the sense, we are opting out of this metrics. So up to 30 marks, the institution, especially affiliated colleges, can opt out. You can say this metrics we are not. If you don't perform in certain parameters, not every. If you look at the parameter, I think 1, 2, 4. If you look at the parameter 1, 2, 4, you cannot exempt any parameter. You cannot opt out any metrics in those 1, 2, 4. But on the remaining, even including research, you can opt out certain parameters. Right? You can say this parameters we are not opting out. So it means your CGPA will be calculated from only 970 instead of 1000. Right? Your denominator will be 970 instead of 1000. If you choose to opt out for 30, maximum of 30, and there are other conditions. There are certain conditions. It is up to 3%. So metric with maximum of 10 weightage per criteria. You cannot exempt all 30 in same criteria. In one criteria, you can exempt maximum of 10 marks in one criteria, right? Sorry, the criteria 1, 2, and 7 are essential. I said, I think 1 to 6 I indicated, sorry for it. 1 to 7 are essential. You cannot exempt any parameter. So no metric can be opted out in 1 to 7. But in the remaining, even placement as I indicated, you can opt out. If you are not doing well in placement, you can opt out, right? If you are not doing well in certain research thing, still you can opt out. There are a possibility, but the list is already given. You cannot decide which is to be opted out. The options is already given in the website. If you look at the manual, it is there, right? So metric identified as optional can only be opted out, which is listed there, which you can go through. And more importantly, qualitative metrics cannot be opted out. Only the quantitative metrics you can opt out. So it's one important advantage for the affiliated colleges. If you are not doing well in certain things, there is a choice to opt out of parameter, right? So I don't know whether I have time. Maybe, ma'am, can I have time? Maybe.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Maybe before I close my session, maybe before I take it to certain documents from the NAAC, which I'm going to share it with you in a shorter while. Just before that, I just thought it is also one important forum where institution will be interested in NIRF. Just a small portion. I'm not going to touch more about this. So maybe based on its engineering ranking, NIRF engineering ranking. Maybe it's for my own interest, for my own understanding, we made a certain table. So which parameter plays vital role, which parameter is going to impact which parameter. I have made a certain idea. If you look at this NARF ranking thing, if certain parameter will impact the other parameters also, which you can very easily understand. I have categorized as like up to 3 low and 4, 5, 6 medium and 7, 8, 9 high and maximum of 10. If you look at the combined metric of quality publication, is 12 is the maximum weightage. I just calculated it to total 10, total 100. Sorry, I just calculated it total 100. 12% weightage is given to the quality of publication. So maximum of 12. So what I've categorized into 4 different metrics. Number 1, low scoring, medium scoring, high scoring, very high scoring. If you look at very high scoring, which is above 9. So what I'm trying to infer from this statistics, there are 6 P's to be followed for NIF. Publication, which has 22.5% of mark. If you perform well in publication, you are going to score 22.5. But the publication is not straightforward formula. It is calculated based on the institution which is performing very well. Maybe I have done certain analysis. If you look at IASC, I wanted to understand how the publication's mark is awarded in NARF. It is based on the percentile function. The institution which have most number of publication per faculty per year, from there it is down calculated. If you look at maybe last year or last before year, the top institution which ranked in the publication have 6 paper per faculty per year. In 1 year, their faculty is able to produce 6 research publication in 1 year, right? So from there it is calculated. You calculate hours. Maybe as an institution of our grade, we may have 1 or 2. So accordingly, our mark get reduced a lot. So publication have a lot of weightage. Placement have 13 marks, which includes the number of students placed and the salary range, the median salary. And the perception have 10 marks, which we don't have any control over it. And pattern have 4.5 marks. So the other important information which I would like to share is pattern. So it is not always granted in pattern only. Even for publication, there is a certain mark which is given, right? The number of PhD, which the affiliated colleges have a lot of issues, and the projects. We talk always research projects, funded projects and all those, but it has only 3 weightages. So if you follow these 6 P's, publication, placement, perception, pattern, PhD and project, you will score 57% of NARF mark. So if you calculate the institution which has scored 57%, if you just go through the NARF 2021 ranking, if you score 57 mark, you end up in top 20 in the country. You can go through. If you score 57 mark, the institution is ranked in the 20 range, right? So that's the importance of these 3 parameters. All the 6 parameters have a lot of relevance to our NAAC. It is going to impact the entire NAAC process. So if it is, as we say, everybody says the quality is not just taken up in a direct way. Whatever you do, different initiatives connected to regular academics, placement, research, and all those are going to have impact on all the remaining parameters. So maybe if time is available, I just thought I will share certain things from the NAAC website, and I will close it from there. I think maybe instead not required. Maybe let me finish my presentation, and thank you very much. Sir,
yes, sir. You can share.
Time is there, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Time is there.
1 minute then. You just give me a minute. I'm just a
We
minute.
have 20 more minutes, sir. So you can
Okay,
carry over the session.
Sure. So what there are certain things which we can take from NAAC website. So what I will just share my screen. Yeah, I think you are able to see the screen, the folders which I'm showing. So you can see there are some important things. The best practices followed in the institution. There is a weightage in the NAAC. See, NAAC have published very clearly what are all the best practices followed in different reports. So if you look at the NAAC website, best practices in higher education, this is published by the NAAC. So it will give a lot of idea what are all the best practices followed in different institutions. So this will give a lot of idea for the members in Iqac. In each criteria, what are all the best practices felt in certain institutions. So why I'm not telling this is just we need to follow all this. but it will give some idea on best practices, because their listing of best practice have certain mark in the SSR, maybe in the NAAC, and also the submission of IQAC. So if you look at the best practices of IQAC activities, there is a report which is available in the website. If as a member of IQAC, if you go through all these, you will get enough idea to list out what things to be done, right? If you look at these are all well known to you also, but it is just an I just thought I will just share it with you. And more importantly, as I said, this is the Excel sheet which is available in the website. I have just filtered out. You can see the institution which has just scored 3.01, 3.01, which just escaped from category B+. Similarly, as I indicated earlier, you can see Ramco Institute of Technology has scored 2.99, right? It is under RAF, Revised Accreditation Framework. They missed A just by 0.01 mark. Similarly, there is Arts and Science College from Trichy. There is a government college, all scored just 2.99. They missed grade A by just by 0.01 grade, 0.01 mark, right? If they scored 0.01 somewhere, they would have ended up in A. Similarly, you can see colleges just escaped from, not this institution. If the institution's validity is only 2020, they are not under RAF. If the institution validity is after 22, right? Because it started in July 2017. If you add 5 years, the validity is after July 22, they are under Revised Accreditation Framework, RAF. This is not under RAF, for example. So these are all under RAF. You can see 2.95, maybe college from Chennai King's Engineering. It's not to just show, but it is, this data is already available in the NAAC website. I've just taken it. More importantly, if you analyze the entire data, and the important thing which you should note in the NAAC is, in each criteria, you need to score at least 1.5 CGPA. Even you score total of maybe 2.5. If you have not scored 1.5 in all the 5 criterias, all the 7 criterias, you need to score 1.5 in all the criterias, then only you will get accreditation. Even if you score total CGPA maybe 2, 2.5 or 3, if you have not scored in one criteria for 1.5, your accreditation will not be approved. That is one important point which you should note. And the second point, if you see the institution which are not accredited, which are categorized D, in the sense D is not accredited. If you look at the institutions, they have failed because they have not scored 1.5 in category in criterion 3 and criterion 7. Many institutions, if you analyze the entire data of NAAC accreditation, why the institute got rejected, why the institute got D grade, which is not accredited, they have not scored 1.5 in criteria 3 and criteria 7. In all the other criteria, they scored. If you look at the total score, they are more than 2. At least they can get B+ or B at least, or C at least. But they are not given accreditation because they have not scored 1.5 in criteria 3 and criteria 7. Major problem is in these 2 criterions. They have not scored 1.5 in these 2, so they have not granted accreditation. So my sincere advice is, you need to be very careful in these 2. The research and the 7th criteria is more for best practice and distinctiveness, right? There we need to concentrate a lot because many institutions failed in these 2 criteria. More importantly, why I have shown some of the PDF which is published by PDF. You can just go to NAAC, there is a publication. You can see a lot of publication, a lot of reports, a lot of best practices. So the institution is not able to rightly say what best practices to be followed, right? So that will give a lot of idea. That's what I just shared that document which was there. So that's it from me, ma'am. Maybe I think I am. Thank you very much. So that's all from me. So if any clarification, anything, I will be happy to answer. If any questions from members, I will be happy to answer. That's it. Thank you very much. If any questions, I'll be happy to answer. Maybe if I know, maybe I'm not expert in every area, but I'll be happy to answer some selective questions.
Okay. Good morning, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
This is Dr. Unica from Chennai.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, can you throw a light on best practices, sir? So what could be the best practices which institution can
Yes, ma'am.
practice so that they can score more mark on it?
Well, actually, if you see the best practices, institution should say 5 best practices in every year AQR. You need to say at least 5 maximum 5 best practices. In my advice, you can choose 5 criterions, especially the high scoring criterions. You cannot follow maybe much best, 7th, there is no best practice because the criterion itself is a best practice. So remaining 6, you can take the curricular aspects, teaching learning process, research, infrastructure, student progression, and the governance. So in my opinion, you need to select, depends on your institution, what best practices you do in curriculum 1, curriculum 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, you can choose 1. That's a broad idea what I'm trying to give. In the curricular aspects, what best practice you follow, definitely you need to do. Maybe some of you may be doing projects, student project only in industry. Some of you may be doing, some of you may have very good research lab where students are encouraged to do a lot of project work. Some of you may encourage a lot of students to do publication. Some of you may have a different assessment process. Some of you may follow a lot of student-centric teaching learning process. It depends on the institution. Similarly, in research front, you would have established a certain very good research laboratory, which help a lot of faculty member. You may would have coined some research center. Specifically, it is not to guide PhD. I'm talking about the real research, physical research center. That could be one of the best practice which you follow. Some of you may be having a lot of industry connections in the teaching learning process. The industry experts involvement will be a very big option in some of the institutions. You can have that. Some of you may, maybe if you look at the formulating course outcome, program outcome, or program specific outcome, if you see the NAAC criterion, they say how you have taken the local, national, international needs. Like local needs, the institution may be located in a very rural place, right? So what is the need of the society? What is the need of that local place? You would have taken that as very seriously and implemented it in your CO, PO, and PSO. That's going to be one of your best practice. So like that, in placement, you may follow certain very good practice, which it is depends on the institution. But that's what I said. You can go through the NAAC website. There is a publication. There is a best practice booklets. A lot of best practice booklets are given. In each criteria, different institutions follows different best practice. You may not be able to identify which is the best practice. Definitely, maybe you must be expert, but I'm just telling. So if you go through those publications, you will get a wonderful idea on best practices which is to be followed, is my opinion. Maybe I'm not directly answering you, but this is what is because it varies institution to institution.
Participants, any other queries?
Yes, sir. Sir, can I, sir?
Yeah, ma'am.
According to the new education policy,
Yes, ma'am.
they say that there may be a NAAC process. The NAAC process may not continue. Can you? Yeah.
No, ma'am. No, actually, what they are trying, the statutory things they are going to merge. That's the overall thing. But as of now, I don't think that the quality assessments, the accreditation and assessment things to be discontinued. I don't think, because if you look at UGC in 2022, they say it is a mandatory for every institution to go for NAAC. There is a clear thing. So maybe I'm not in a position to comment anything on it. I'm not a believer of that till this point. So it will be continued, in my opinion, all the NAAC or MBA and all those, because they serve their own different purposes. It's no way connected to the policy, because it's some of the initiatives which guarantees the quality initiatives of the institution or quality assurance of the institution. NAAC serves differently, MBA serves differently. But so in mind, I don't think that will be done. I have not studied that, but let me also go through. I have not seen that.
Thank you, sir. Any other participants?
Sir, nowadays, this Ministry of Education is given target to all the institutions to install the Innovation Council, and they are moving forward for innovation and entrepreneurship. But there is no...
I think you are muted.
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you able to hear me, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
nowadays the Ministry of Education is given importance for all the institution to install innovation council and to create innovation entrepreneurship ecosystem.
Correct, ma'am.
Not only for technical, even for non-technical, medical, pharmaceutical, all the institutions have to install.
That's right.
There is no such impact given in the NAAC criteria for this one, sir. Then
correct, ma'am. For affiliated colleges, innovation ecosystem is exempted. They don't have a weightage for mark. Definitely, yes. I think they need. I think there is a lot of discussion on this. Even many of them wrote to the NAAC saying the innovation ecosystem is on the other side. Ministry of Education, the other regulatory authorities are insisting on innovation related activities. On the other side, you have exempted in grading. Maybe at least NAAC should add it as an optional grade. Definitely, I accept your view. So that one side, the statutory norms, the government, the ministry is insisting on innovation related activities. On the other side of the assessment, they exempt in the institution. But in the autonomous colleges and universities, the criterion is there. But for the affiliated college, it is not there. That I understand. But there are a lot of discussion, a lot of communication is being sent to NAAC on the same subject. Maybe it can be given as option is my view also.
And is there any possibility to put all this ranking in one umbrella, sir?
Ranking in India, the only thing is NARF. There is no other ranking.
No, sir. Actually, right now, this Innovation Council is getting.
Okay, yeah, ARIA.
No, ARIA. This Innovation Council itself, every year ranking will be given.
Okay, actually,
the
purpose of them is different, man. For students taking admission, maybe, in my opinion, they don't take very seriously on ARIA. They take NARF. Maybe even the employers, if you talk about the employer, even funding agency for that matter, you take DSTR, certain calls are restricted only for the institution which are in top 50 and certain institutions which are in top 100 in NARF. As of now, NARF have a lot of importance compared to any other ranking is my view. There is no other, because the purpose is different for ARIA. They take only on innovation. Maybe since you asked the previous question, it may be very useful for you to get score well in ARIA, because in NAAC they are not considering much importance. So you may do well in ARIA. You can score well in ARIA, either performer or maybe there are different bands which they have given this year. So you can do that maybe.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you.
Any other queries from the participant side?
Hello, this is Dr. P.K. Chidambaram from New Friends.
Yes, sir.
But all the criteria,
yes, sir.
100% you have to satisfy 1.5 and above.
Yes, sir. 100%.
Because cumulative CGPA is nothing but greater than.
No, even yes, sir, I understand. Even in one criteria,
cumulative value only, no.
No, sir. Each criteria, it's a criteria wise cutoff they have given. You need to score. In one criteria, you scored 3. In one criteria, you not scored 1.5. You will not be accredited. You will not be given grading.
It is a mandatory for all
mandatory.
Yes, to get to 1.5.
1.5. Minimum 1.5 in each criteria, irrespective of your total CGPA.
Okay, now I think some of the criteria is you have to invest more, not parallel to the students' activity. You have to go for research activities, meant you have to invest more. So you have to go for a lot of industry, institution, interaction, cell and everything. So you have to invest more. Nowadays, it is possible for all the private colleges.
Yes, sir, I can understand. See, there are.
I can score criterion 2 is the more marks. I have to get good marks.
Yes,
I have to score more mark and I have to balance. Why not?
No, sir, actually, you said industry institute cell, interaction cell is definitely required. You must be doing placement and all those. But the option is given for you. Maybe see, you can see not single criteria is having very high weightage. If you say that is not applicable to you, you can opt out. There is option given. Maximum.
I think only 10 marks, something only you have to opt
in each criteria. Yes, sir. No, for each the metric, most of the metric are not more than 10, sir. Very less number of metrics are more than 10.
Yeah.
So maybe if you're not performing in one thing, I'm very sure it will not dent your scope of getting accreditation, is my view. Maybe you need to see what exactly, in which criteria, what point you are not scoring well, then you need to see in that detail. I don't think by not doing certain things, you will not get, I don't think, sir. You can do well is my opinion. We need to see in detail. But I accept your understand your point, because institutions located in a very rural place, they have a lot of challenges. It is acceptable. So that's where NAAC also changed on-campus placement, even they accept off-campus placements. That's one thing which they did, for example. So you can write to them. Maybe if you have some concerns, obviously they take a lot of feedback. They take always regular feedbacks. I write very regularly. Maybe you can also do that, and you can express your views always.
And one more important question.
Yes,
so
sir.
how we will do the student satisfaction survey 2.7?
Yes, sir.
How you are going to do? So we have to develop all those system for getting the survey from the student.
Actually,
so you
sir,
just suggest me.
No, actually, there is no other second route. You need to give the contact number and mail ID of all students. But even they send out a mail, they expect a certain percent of students to respond. If they don't respond, again, there is an issue for the institution only. Number one. Even if you look at the website, there is a poster which is being designed by NAAC to motivate students to participate in student survey. There is a poster which you can use it in different places in And number two, the NAAC calls few students and verifies the response what is being received. So the only way to satisfy students is to satisfy the students. There is no other route. Actually, students should feel happy because they should have a decent infrastructure. They should have some good placement. They should have very good teaching. Few things are expected from the students. There is no other second option to satisfy the students other than satisfying the student itself.
They are stakeholders. They have to satisfy. So
there is no other option for it.
Marks, we are providing 60 marks. So
yes, sir. For affiliated colleges, it is 60. For universities, it is only 30. No, sir. For colleges, it is 30 only. For university, only 60.
University, only 60.
60, yes, sir.
Okay. But the very important, very difficult to set up the huge research center and all. It's not possible for all. Any other route is there?
Not required, sir. For affiliated colleges, there is no mandatory. Without any research, I am very sure you can get very good score.
So you have to interact with the industry.
Mandatory. Okay, even consultancy is exempted for affiliated colleges. There is no point. Maybe I'm not telling you should not interact with industry, but the weightage is not much given there, is my view.
So internship is very important now. So
yes, sir.
What is the number of days you have to do minimum?
No, those are all connected more to academic regulation and all those. So they at least one semester now they are coming up. If based on
I'm talking about the number of days you have to do. Whereas in the NBA they are talking. They are asking 45 days. I think this is very difficult to do.
No, sir. Maybe it may be very difficult for the non-engineering streams. Definitely, it will be very difficult. But for the engineering stream, no, it is very much possible, sir. Even I say one semester project is very much
45 days
doable. Okay, the summer internship and all this which you are talking about, I think maybe it is very difficult to get such opportunity. But institutions are managing to get decent enough, because now you look at maybe the government skill-based institute like ATA or a lot of other institutes like in electronics there is a NAAC, it is in Chennai and various part of country. They do some skill-based courses. I think they also accept those as an internship category. 45 days, I think it's too high even in my opinion. But
okay. So, okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much for patience answer. What are the questions I raised?
Sure,
on behalf of New Prince, thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable answers.
Thank you very much, sir.
Dear participants, it's time for to begin the second session. You can ask your queries in the upcoming sessions. Thank you, sir. We feel very proud for you taking time off your busy schedule to join us today. Your valuable suggestions and guidelines regarding NAAC accreditation process and AQAR report submission definitely would be fruitful for us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
So now I would like to invite Ms. G. Shiva, Assistant Professor of EC Department, to introduce our chief guest, Dr. P. Nageshwar Rao, Dean, Iqac, Vardhaman College of Engineering, Hyderabad. Ma'am, Shiva, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning to all. Dr. P. Nageshwar Rao has done his BTech ECE from Babatla Engineering College, Nagarjuna University, Gundur in the year 1990, and master's degree in engineering from Coimbatore Institute of Technology, Coimbatore in the year 1995 with a specialization of applied electronics. He has done his PhD from NIT Warangal in the year 2010 in the field of RF and microwave engineering on circularly polarized fractal-shaped microstrip antennas. He has more than 27 years of teaching experience, and also he worked as head of the department for 8 years at Sri Vidya Nigetan Engineering College and as principal at G. Pullaya College of Engineering, Kurnool for 6 years. He is currently holding the position as Dean Quality Assurance and Professor of ECE, Vardhaman College of Engineering, Hyderabad. He has published more than 38 research papers in referred journals and conferences and holds 2 patents. Dr. Nageshwara Rao has received funding projects from AICTE and ISTE worth of 36 lakhs. He is the Chief Co-Coordinator of AICTE Margadarshan Scheme at Vardhaman College of Engineering, mentoring 10 institutions to get NBA accreditation. He is the Institute Level NAAC Coordinator for Cycle 2 at Vardhaman College of Engineering, which is accredited by NAAC with A++ grade with CGPA of 3.58. He is the Institute Level NBA Coordinator. Under his guidance, 5 UG programs are accredited by NBA with more than 700 points. He is the reviewer for reputed international journals. His research areas are reconfigurable microstrip antennas, circularly polarized antennas, and numerical electromagnetic modeling. And he's a member of ISTE, IET, and fellow of IE. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would like to invite our speaker, Dr. P. Nageshwara Rao, Dean, Iqrc, Vardhaman College of Engineering, Hyderabad, to carry over the session. Sir?
Yes, madam. Yes, good morning to all. Very good morning, madam. Is my screen visible, madam?
Yes, sir. Your screen is visible.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for wonderful introduction. Thank you, Hemamali madam and Durga Srilakshmi madam and other organizers. I welcome to this a wonderful session organized by New Prince Sri Bhavani College of Engineering and Technology, Chennai, as part of this NAAC revised assessment and accreditation framework and approach. The topic given to me is what is the role of internal quality assurance in quality enhancement. So thank you, madam, and thank you the management of New Prince Sri Bhavani College of Engineering for giving this opportunity, for giving an opportunity to share my knowledge. Yeah, this is Professor Nageshwara. I'm the professor of EC and Dean Iqsc. I think madam has given a brief introduction about the qualification and experience at all. I hope the inputs which I'm going to give it to you will be helpful. I'll try my level best what we do so that you'll get enough knowledge about what is the role of Iqsc in improving the overall the quality of any educational institution. Yes. So what actually we do at Iqsc, of course, these are the certain major activities that Iqsc takes care of. They are not actually fixed. Anything the institution feels, okay, which improves the quality of teaching and learning. So basically, the students are our customers, first customers. So the student satisfaction is the highest level for any institution which we need to consider. So whatever initiatives we took, okay, as part of Iqsc, that is for the sake of welfare of the students' benefit. So these are, of course, certain activities that Iqsc takes care of for improving the quality. So they may directly or indirectly impact or affect the quality of the institution. When I say institution, all stakeholders will come into picture. Maybe students, maybe faculty, or at the institution level as a whole. So first and foremost thing is the feedback that we need to collect on various parameters from the students. As I told, students are our the first customers. What we do, what activities we take, to what level they are reaching to the students, whether they are really getting benefited by the initiatives taken by the institution. Of course, it may be IQAC or something. IQAC is a part of institution. Okay, so IQAC actually is a tool, okay, which implements the policies taken by the institution. Okay, whatever IQAC takes, it is with the help of course, the principal only. It cannot buy anything by itself. Okay, so committee will be there, IQAC members will be there, IQAC members will sit together and they will take a decision what is the best for the institution, or of course for the students or the faculty, or for the management, of course, or to the society, of course. And one more thing is setting the quality benchmarks and how to assess it. Once we set the benchmarks at various levels, what are the parameters we consider as benchmarks or quality benchmarks? And what is the process or the strategy for assessing the quality benchmarks? And of course, the recommendation for faculty in centers or publications. Just now, I think I heard Professor Shivakumar sir presentation. Of course, you know, AQR and NAAC, SSR, each and every parameter that we are going to discuss is reflected to the one of the parameters. If you look at thoroughly each and every parameter, either in the NAAC, SSR or AQR, are related to quality parameters only, maybe directly or maybe indirectly. We cannot actually say that if I do this one, I'll improve the quality. So it may not affect the quality directly. It may affect the students to improve, or the faculty in overall improvement. So coming to the fourth one is academic and administrative audit. This one more important the activity that IQAC taking care of. What actually we ask them for the departments and faculty, what they have achieved. Unless audit is done, we don't know. We set the targets at the beginning and we need to assess at the end. So what is the process or procedure that we follow, okay, to assess the departments? Through audit. It may be done either internal experts or external experts to appraise the departments, or of course the faculty. Of course, the fifth one is coming to the faculty self-appraisal. When you give some targets for the faculty in terms of the quality benchmarks, there is a mechanism to assess the performance of the faculty in terms of faculty self-appraisal. Very, very, very important parameter. You don't think that it is not what you call penalize the faculty, only to assess, because we are actually accredited by NAAC or NBA. So they are assessing us. Institution is assessed by NAAC or any accreditation agency, okay, for checking where we are, to verify where we stand in the society or okay, in higher education institutions. Similarly, we need to assess the faculty performance. There must be a mechanism, well-defined mechanism to verify, to check the performance of faculty at various levels. Now, institutionalization of best practices. Once we feel that this practice is okay, then we have to think of institutionalizing the best practices. I cannot say it is a best practice unless you see the outcome, evidence of success. We cannot decide it is a best practice. Okay, first we follow it. If you see the evidence of success, then only we can coin it as a best practice. Whatever practices we follow may not come under a best practice sometimes. So that is the reason we need to show some evidence for success. Then only I can coin it as a what you call best practice. Yes. Yes, madam. Is there any problem from my side? Madam?
Sir, it's now clear, sir. You can please carry on.
Okay, thank you. So then coming to the last one is actually participating in the various rankings. So all these things actually when IQAC is taking care to improve the performance, maybe directly or indirectly. So some of the things what I'm going to show may be a quantitative, maybe some of them are maybe qualitative, but you can, the institutions which are actually the participants who are participating in this seminar, okay, it is actually a model. Don't take it as a benchmark. It is only a model. So you can follow your own way. Okay, the first one, as I told, collecting the feedback from the students and various parameters. Okay, so when I say some, what you call initiative, we have to define a pakka procedure. So a process must be established at the institutional level. Whatever we do at the institutional level, first of all, we need to check whether any standard operating process or procedure is in place or not, whether it is approved by a apex body or not at the college level. So once it is predefined, properly defined policies there to, okay, implement this, then you have to act on it. So whether it is maybe what you call faculty self-appraisal, or it may be academic audit, or it may be incentive policy, or it may be feedback mechanism. So NAAC looks at the process. NAAC actually talks more about the policies, system, standard operating process. Whether process is there or not, what is the process that is in place, to what extent that is being implemented, how effectively it is being implemented, then what is the impact of it? You talk about any policy that you take care at our institution. So please check whether any written process is there or not. It should be known. Today I may be there in the position. Tomorrow some X or Y or Z may come into that place. So he also should take care of, should know what is actual process that is in place. A system, okay, must be in place for taking any initiative forward. Okay, so of course, generally this is process we follow actually in institution for we collect the feedback at the middle of the semester, and we set the target level. We set the target level or threshold level. If it is not meeting, what is to be the action to, what is the action to be taken? So as I told clearly, it is not to penalize or punish any faculty if a faculty gets less feedback. So then Iqac or any standing committee, what is their role to see that the faculty performance is improved? It is only to improve the performance or improve the quality. So what is the role of Iqac or the standing committee to improve the performance of any faculty if any faculty falls below the threshold value? So because as I mentioned, the students are our ultimate what we call customers. Yes. So generally we take twice in a semester. We generally take, because there are 4,000, 5,000 students, there are a number of courses. Okay, we should do the analysis and we should take an action. Okay, and we should see the observe. We should observe what we call what is the impact of counseling the faculty. Okay, so what actually we do? Yes, we should counsel the faculty without hurting the feelings of any faculty. So because the faculty are the very, very important resource for any institution. Institution doesn't mean that it is a building or infrastructure. So first thing comes into picture when I talk about institution is the faculty. We should look at the welfare of the faculty. At the same time, students are also as important as the faculty because they are our first customers. So without hurting the feelings of a faculty, we should counsel the faculty. I may think that faculty may think that he is very good at teaching, but we don't know to what extent it is reaching to the student. Okay, so this faculty may be strong at subject, may not be good at delivery. So those things can be known only through feedback, and we should guide them, we should suggest them in different ways, maybe asking the particular faculty to consult the senior faculty, or we may ask them to attend FDP faculty development programs on pedagogical initiatives, or you may ask us to register for NPTEL or MOOCs programs to improve the what you call subject on particular area where he actually is teaching. So then after counseling, you should actually look at the performance. We should do actual impact analysis. So I have given a simple table. Of course, I have not mentioned the names. Okay. So when I consider number of courses, of course, let us assume these are the courses where less feedback is obtained. In the middle of the semester, this let us assume. At the end of the semester, what we got. This is actually after counseling. So we need to look at the impact of counseling the faculty. So where if impact is not there, there is no use of what you call taking any action or any initiative. So there must be some impact. It may be best practice or it may be a quality initiative taken by the Iqrc. Impact must be there. Positive impact, not negative impact. So positive impact must be there. That is to be recorded. Otherwise, no use. If someone was not for the sake of NAAC or NBA, it is to be what you call to know where we stand, what is the impact of action that we take, what is the impact of initiatives that the institution takes. Must be there. A tangible output must be there. So for that, we need to do the analysis and we should look at what is the performance. If how many faculty are there below the threshold level before counseling. After counseling, what is that number? Is there any less, is there a decrease in the number? Is there an improvement in the performance in terms of feedback? That is to be done, whether it is in NAAC or NBA. Okay. So otherwise, if this analysis is not done, there is no use of taking the feedback. Feedback is not simply, what do you call, taking, not for the documentation purpose. So one more thing is on facilities. So what facilities the institution provides, what facilities the institution provides, what is the mechanism that we follow to collect the feedback, what are the parameters that we consider. So facilities, do you think that only infrastructure or anything comes into mind? Okay, what is which is useful for these students? Maybe library, maybe canteen, maybe ICT tools. What are maybe hostel facilities, maybe drinking water, maybe cleanliness in the toilet. So all those things we have to define. There is no actually standard parameters that we have to consider while taking the facilities, feedback on facilities. So once a feedback is taken, what is our target level? It may be 60 or 65 or 70, it is up to the level of the institution. So let us assume if you look at this one, it is we kept it to 60%. How many parameters are above it, below it? So we need to act it. Suppose one or two parameters may be below the threshold value we defined. What is to be done? Whether it is brought to the notice of the principal or higher management, what action is to be taken? Look at this. If it is less than 60%, corrective measures are to be taken. So what action the institution has taken to improve this? If at all, if it is improved for any parameters, if it is above threshold level, maybe 70 or 80, 90, we should not get satisfied. So we should actually look at setting the higher target. So this is a continuous process till we sustain it. So getting good feedback is one thing and sustain is one more important thing. Okay, so this is one more thing what IQAC is supposed to do, improve the quality at the institution level. Yes. I think one participant is asking the previous speaker, student satisfaction survey is very, very important parameter in criteria 2, if I am correct. So student satisfaction survey. So this actually not on the facilities, not on the faculty. It is on overall teaching learning process that is adopted by the institution. Overall, what is the quality of the faculty? What is the quality of teaching learning? Whether the faculty are in general using ICT tools or not, whether the faculty are reachable to the students beyond the college hours, okay, whether they give a complex engineering problems or whether the assignments which are given are discussed with the students after evaluation. So there are certain things which are general to the institution, basically on teaching learning process. Okay, TLP, because the criteria comes under criteria 2, if I'm correct. Okay, so this can be defined that you can design your own forms, or you can design your own Microsoft forms or Google form, and you can check. But finally, when you are submitting SSR, that is actually taken care by the NAAC. That we cannot do anything. But when you are submitting AQR, we need to submit the student satisfaction survey. How do you take that student satisfaction survey? You can design your own forms and check where we are. Okay. Yes. Now coming to the second the initiative that what IQAC takes care is setting the quality benchmarks. So here also the IQAC members along with the principal, of course, principal is the chairman for the IQAC, sit together and should be defined what are the parameters that we should consider for defining the benchmarks. Okay, and we have to disseminate to the faculty. Okay, for of course, what are those parameters that can be decided by the institution? Okay, and once those are set or disseminated by the IQAC, and we have to assess them through internal audit or external audit. Then if the department or faculty are not meeting those benchmarks set by IQAC, what is to be done. Okay, so that is actually the process which are in place. Okay, so then I think I am trying to show you some of the benchmarks that we set. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, you can set your own way of what you call setting the benchmarks at the faculty level, at the department level. So when I say the benchmark set for the department is actually cumulative effect of the faculty performance. Department by itself cannot do anything unless the faculty does anything. The department cannot showcase anything. So when the faculty are doing extraordinarily well, the departments exhibit the same thing. Then obviously the institution can show what the departments have done. So it's cumulative. If the students are performing well, the departments does well. Well, if the departments are doing well, the institution also performs well. So each and every stakeholder in the institution, students, faculty, and heads of the department process, when everyone contributes for the improvement of the quality, okay, and looking at the quality benchmarks set by Iqsc, and if they work with the true spirit, definitely the quality will go up. Okay, these are actually some of the benchmarks we, of course, can be set at the institution level. So when being an institution, being an educational institution, what will be the quality benchmarks? Maybe your pass percentage, maybe your faculty development programs, how many programs you have conducted, how many programs you have attended, whether you have attended NPTEL courses, whether you design your own add-on course, value-added courses. Okay, how many student projects you guided? What is your feedback? Okay, how much percentage you are supposed to have feedback percentage? How many research papers you are supposed to submit? How many international conferences you are supposed to attend? Okay, so how much research projects you have to undertake? Okay, patents, textbooks, consultancy, interaction with the outside world. Unless you have interaction with the industry or other institutions, it's very difficult to know what actually going on outside. So these are the certain parameters of quality benchmarks that we can change, we can set for various levels. I cannot set same benchmark for a senior level and same level for the junior level, which is at assistant professor. We can actually change these levels. These parameters can be changed depending upon the quality of the inputs, quality of the faculty, or the location of the institution. Okay, so these are the quality benchmarks at the department level. So as I told, when I say something is showcased by department, it is the cumulative performance of the faculty. So yes, as I told research papers, when I told assistant process 2 and something like that. So combination of those things the department actually supposed to tell. It may be funding projects, it may be patents, it may be FDPs, or it may be conferences conducted, or it may be workshops or add-on courses. When I'm telling all those things, people just know those who attended the previous talk by Professor Kumar. I think these parameters may be somewhere, either 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, or it may be 7 also. So all these parameters, when I'm talking about the quality benchmarks, are related directly or indirectly to one of the parameters in SSR. Okay. Okay, it may be MOUs, or it may be consultancy, or it may be placements department, because I cannot actually give this benchmarks for the faculty. It is to be for the department. Okay. Similarly, higher education, how the department, what action, what initiative the department has taken to motivate the students to go for higher education. It may be MTech or GATE or MS. Or student publications. So what department does to convert their BTech projects and MTech projects into papers? The department cannot get the publications unless faculty publish. Faculty cannot publish papers unless the student do. So it is actually a cumulative effect. If the students are performing well, faculty does. If faculty are doing well, the departments also can showcase. Obviously, the institution can perform well. So unless these are linked to each and every faculty or the students, we cannot see that the quality is maintained. Okay, and the participation of the students in extracurricular and co-curricular activities. You know how important it is in criteria 5 of SSR. And student innovations. Okay, now how many models are developed? Okay, all these things are to be considered for the departmental level benchmarks. Detention. So how detention, if the student is getting detained, some problem is there at the mentor. Mentor, faculty mentor is not able to mentor the student properly. So the department is not doing well. If the student is getting detained for want of credits, there are two ways a student gets detained, maybe because of attendance or maybe because of credits. So who is responsible? Yes, you have to make the department responsible for it. Because if this faculty is doing well, sir, we told him to come to the college regularly, but he's not listening. Where is the problem that the department should identify, locate the problem to motivate the student to come to the college and see that he clears all the subjects. So unless give some target, set these benchmarks for the department level, no one knows what they have to do. Okay, even pass percentage also. Of course, we cannot set 80%, 80%. What does it mean? 20% students can be failed. Nah? So we should not set actually lower level. Okay, we have to, of course, we may not reach 100%, but we need to set the target at highest level. So it may not be possible to have detention 0%. It maybe 0.5% students may get detained because of the attendance, or maybe because of credits. But we need to set the benchmarks at 0% only. Or when we talk about pass percentage, it must be at the highest level. But we should try to reach very close to the benchmark set. Okay, attainments, CO attainments and PO attainments. So we need to assess, we need to look at improving the target level every year. Okay, that is actually set at the beginning of the year and disseminated to the departments and to the faculty. How do you know whether they met or not? Yes. So at the end of the year, the IQS, of course, in terms of with the help of academic audit committee, we need to actually assess the performance of the departments and of course at the faculty also. So what is the set? How many papers they are supposed to present, publish in a year? How many they have published? What is the set level? How many achieved? So even funding projects, we have given 1 crore projects. What they have done? Patents, suppose 10 are given to the departments. How many they have done? FDPs, MOOCs, MOEs, consultants, placements. We have given 80% target. How many students are placed? We told at least 10% of the students should go for higher education. How many students have gone? Student publications, we told clearly all mini projects and major projects are to be converted into the conference papers. How many projects are converted into the papers? So that is to be assessed. So that we will be knowing what, then there is a use of setting the benchmarks and we should assess it. Unless we assess, no use of setting the benchmarks. Not only that, student participation, student innovations, detentions, whatever parameters that we set, we need to assess at the end so that whether departments are acting on the targets given to the departments in terms of the benchmarks. Yes. Now look at this. I have given the benchmarks, targets, as targets, of course. Then we have done the analysis. But what is the impact must be there? No? Yes. Look at this student success because I have given target. Okay. The departments keep actually striving to improve the performance. So 70, let us listen. This is only sample. Don't take it as the actual one. Look at the 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20. Look at the performance. Maybe 69%, 74, 77, maybe 74, 75, 84. So there must be improvement. So we cannot actually show reasons for if any, because of any reasons the percentage is gone down. People are not actually ready to listen your reasons. They will see what is the action that you have taken to improve the performance. What action you have taken. Because of that action taken, what is the impact? Yes, sir, these are the set benchmarks I set for the departments. I assessed, I have encouraged the departments to improve the performance. This is the impact I got. So there is a positive impact of the initiatives taken by the Iqrc. Like that, we should convince the people, higher authorities, management, accreditation agency, or anyone that for that matter, or to the parents, okay, not for the sake of accreditation, even for the society, parents also, you are answerable. Okay, look at this. Because of this initiatives taken by the maybe Iqsc or the institution. So in terms of what you call higher studies, how many students are placed? So yes, a lot of improvement. Maybe, of course, sometimes we cannot meet the target set. So what we have to do? So there are several parameters that may affect our targets. Maybe the students who are coming in, that input quality of the student may not be good, that I cannot do anything or you cannot do anything. Yes, there the department's role come into picture. How you are attracting the student to join. Okay, how a student is choosing the best institution. Yes, suppose your institution is accredited by NAAC with A double plus. Yes, that itself is what you call an attractive feature to make the students to choose your institution. Nothing else is required. So obviously, it's a branding so that you are maintaining the quality. So people, the society, stakeholders are always observing us, what we are doing. Generally, people will observe it. So how do you brand it? Yes, in the accreditation agencies, okay, like NBA or NAAC are there, or NIRF, they are there, okay, so to brand our institution. Look at this. Of course, this is only a sample. Don't take it as a okay. So look at this: 50%, 65%, 88%, maybe 48, 56. So this placement index, how actually it is raising. Look at this. Look at this raise. Look at this raise. So that is to be shown. So the actions or the initiatives taken by the institution should improve the performance. Yes. Now, I was telling about the research publications. Actually, just now, when Sivakumar sir was telling about the 6 P's publications in criteria 3 R&D. Yes, faculty publications definitely play a vital role. Okay. So, though our institutions basically only NITs, IITs talk about the research institutions. Other institutions basically we are teaching oriented. But even then, if the faculty are not able to publish, we are nowhere in this, in the what you call competition. See, either it may be NBA or NAAC or NIRF or any other agency, they are looking at the publications also. So publications means you should have PhD scholars, or you must have PG students, or you must have BTech students. Okay, you by yourself you need not do it. You should make your scholars, you should make your students to convert their projects into papers, so that the quality. Now, don't think that I am not a researcher, sir. We are actually teaching to the students how we get publications. This is the general talk. But we cannot do anything. Actually, you should convert those projects into papers so that the publications should be done. Then what we do, what is the initiative taken by the Iqsc institution to motivate the or encourage the faculty to publish? Yes, some sort of incentives must be given. Yes, if it is a free journal, if it is unpaid journal, yes, we'll pay this much of amount. So 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, okay, so that the faculty will come forward, okay. So unless an incentive or motivation is given to the faculty to publish papers, you don't get papers. Okay, research papers is very difficult. So there must be what you call continuous motivation from the faculty, okay, to motivate the students to publish, or some continuous motivation from the head of the department to the faculty to publish papers. From at the same time, institution level, principal level, also motivation must be there, okay, for faculty to publish papers in terms of incentives. Okay, so we actually discourage the faculty to publish in paid journals, because we don't know if you choose a poor quality, this year it may be there indexed, next year it may not be there. So we always look at the quality publications, what we do to motivate the faculty to publish papers. So there must be a process in place. Okay, there should be a request from the faculty. Sir, I have published a paper. It is a free journal. Then there must be a scrutiny committee, and it is to be scrutinized by the R&D and subject expert. If it is approved, then yes, a paid incentive will be awarded. So these are the things which can be decided by the institution, so that the faculty definitely will come forward to publish the papers. So the faculty get benefited, department also will get benefited, and the institution also will get benefited, depending upon the amount that is to be paid by the faculty, by the institution to the faculty may vary depending upon the financial strength of the institution. Okay, now, yes, this also you have to see the impact. Yes, what is the publications? Maybe in 2018, only 16, X department, they have published only 16 papers. After incorporating this initiative, what happened to the number of publications? Is there any jump? Yes, that jump must be there. Okay, so otherwise there is no use, not simply filing purpose. There must be an impact on bringing in this policy into the system. Okay, now, yes. One more important thing, whatever I told that setting the quality benchmarks and assessing, there must be mechanism to audit this, that is academic and administrative auditor. So the departments are to be audited by an external committee or internal committee to verify various things. Okay, so which can be broadly classified into three. Yes, one is for faculty, the other one is for the student, the third one is for the department. Okay, so what we actually search, yes, maybe academic research, sponsored research, patents, consultancy, academic contributions, training, self-renewal, academic results, awards, development, internships, faculty performance, appraisal development system. And coming to the students' performance, yes, student success rate, student academic performance, placements, student achievement, all these things we have to assess and we should give, of course, if at all, if you can design a scorecard, you give the points and check how many points they are getting. 1,000 points, you can assess them. So how many points they are getting next year. Okay, so like that, when I audit, it should be done actually quantitatively, it should be done. Otherwise, yes or no, no use. Okay, so unless it is to be graded, so people will not accept to what level they have achieved it. So that is the reason some points are given for the even academic audit also. So that, of course, it's up to you to design your own sheet, own form, or own scorecard to assess the performance of departments based on several parameters. What are the parameters are common, whether it is Vardhaman or someone else, the parameters are same. Okay, now coming to this very, very important thing that is maybe there in every institution to assess the performance of the faculty. So the performance of the faculty will be, yes, assessed on various parameters. What we actually assess, the targets are given. So targets, what targets are given? This, he is basically a teacher. Feedback must be good. He must be a researcher. He must guide the students. He must attend the what do you call FDPs. He must conduct the FDPs. So based on those parameters, we have to assess. We should actually grade based on the performance and should be awarded properly. Okay. Otherwise, there is no use of assessing the faculty through self-appraisal form. Okay. So there must be a process. As I told clearly, NAAC always looks at the process. So it must be written and it must be in place, and every faculty are aware of the process that is followed. It should be transparent. It should be available on the website. Okay. So what is the policy process? Yes, we publish, Iqrc publishes the self-appraisal form and they submit it. And the committee constituted for the purpose will audit, will assess 1-to-1, and we publish the scores. And if any grievances are there, faculty may not be satisfied with the points given by the committee. Obviously, automatically, they are actually free to ask for any grievances. Then they submit the any document evidences. Then again, it will be scrutinized by the Iqrc and submitted for the final approval to the principal. And yes, based on their performance, maybe getting 1 or 2 or 3. There is no limit. Of course, some faculty may not get. Okay, so based on their performance, if you design, it is a special request to all the participants. If the Iqrc coordinators, if you design this faculty self-appraisal properly, obviously everything will come into action. So automatically you are putting a checkpoint for each and every one, because the faculty, the institution faculty may be worth 300, 350 faculty. How can I check individually? It's very difficult unless there is a checkpoint to assess the performance of the faculty. Yes, these are broadly classified. This faculty self-appraisal can be divided into 3. One is actually TLP, the other one is research, and third one is extension activities. These points can be, of course, the various parameters that are to be kept in the self-appraisal. Yes, keep this NAAC SSR, okay, in mind. You study each and every point. It may be teaching learning process. It may be research, third. It may be actually student performance, fourth one. It may be student support system, or it may be the governance. Look at the various Of course, first one is the curriculum enrichment. Okay. Even curriculum enrichment also, there are very important parameters like what add-on courses. Okay, what courses are taken by the department? Okay, as add-on courses. You look at the TLP. Okay, look at criteria 3. So all these things you have to keep it in mind while we design this API. Okay. Yes, look at this teaching a TLP. Look at research contribution of the faculty. Look at what they do, extension activities. Okay, they have self-renewal. If I did letters into my BTech maybe 30 years, 35 years back. The courses which I learned are different. The courses which I am teaching may be different because the technologies, especially computer science and electronics, is growing very rapidly. Unless I get updated, unless I take up some courses like NPTEL, MOOCs courses, I cannot sustain what the faculty is doing. Are you same level? What were you at 10 years back, 20 years back? You are not. If you are like that, you are in trouble. You are in trouble. So what actually you do to upgrade yourself, to update yourself, that is extension activities and professional development. So the points actually, the parameters which are given to the different faculty levels may be different. Okay, now, so if you look at this first one, TLP, we should be given highest priority because we are teachers. We are not working in research institutions. We are basically working in an institution mainly focusing on teaching. Okay, it's not IIT or IAC or NITs where the faculty are working more on research because they have research scholars. They will be working more on funding projects, research, etc. But here we are actually teachers. So more focus must be given for the TLP. These points can be given as per our need. Look at, courses start. How many course outcomes are attained? Yes, I have to link this course outcome also to the faculty. It is your duty to see that the course outcomes are attained. So what is the target level that you put? What is the threshold level you put? How many COs are attained? So what actually pedagogical initiatives, when I'm telling all those things, definitely you should have thorough knowledge about your SSR, AQR. Okay, then what actually assessment, what is meant by alternate assessment tools? Okay, how do you design the complex engineering problems? Are you making the students to attempt complex engineering problems? Okay, are you asking the students to do what you call course and projects? Okay, project-based learning. I think people are completely aware of this OBE. Okay, so unless I add these points into my self-appraisal, it's very difficult. So I don't actually follow any. I don't use any ICT tools. I don't see whether CO is attained. They may think that it is the headache or burden of the head of the department. It is not the burden or headache of the head of the department. It is the duty of each and every faculty to see that all COs are attained because he is the course instructor. It is his duty to see that all the COs are attained. It is his duty to see that the performance of the students is improved. So how do I do? How do I do? Yes, unless you add these points into the self-appraisal, it's very difficult. Awareness, every faculty are completely aware of OB. It is not the NBA coordinator or it is not the NAAC coordinator to know completely about the OB. Each and every faculty is supposed to know about Bloom's level. Each and every faculty should know what is actual attainment. You should know threshold level. Okay, what is actually performance indicators? What is actually course articulation metrics? How they are to be mapped? What is the justification? Why it is mapped to 3? Why it is mapped to 2? Each and every faculty should know. Because he is the course instructor. As far as that course is concerned, he is the master. He should know everything. It is not the headache of the course, what do you call it, NBA coordinator or NAAC coordinator to know about all these things. Each and every faculty should know. Then content development, yes. The days are gone following simple chalk and duster. We should follow innovative pedagogical initiatives. What innovative pedagogical initiatives you have taken? So that is one thing. Now mentoring, yes, it's very, very powerful. Whether it may be considered NAAC or NBA, people are always talking about this mentor, how effective the mentoring system is. Okay, because each faculty is given only 20 students. It is the duty of the faculty to monitor, counsel, mentor the performance of the student, because at HOD level, maybe 1,000 students are, how HOD can monitor the performance of all 1,000 students under him, maybe second year, third year, fourth year, maybe 1,000 students are there under him. How difficult it is for the HOD to monitor the performance of all the students, unless all mentors act properly. So how do I know? Yes, I have to link this with the API. Okay, how many mentors, how many students are given, how many students cleared all the courses, how many students have taken up MOOCs courses, whether they participated, whether you have motivated the students to go for any extracurricular activities. Unless you give this task to the mentor, you will not get it. So when mentors are doing, obviously it is easy for the HOD to meet the targets. Okay, yes, that is first point. Coming to the research, yes, of course, if you look at the criteria 3, so a lot of weightage is given for the research for autonomous institutions. Of course, universities also lot of weightage is given, not only for NBA, NAAC, even for the NIRF or any other ranking agencies. Faculty publications are playing an important role to showcase your institution. Okay, so research publications also to be linked. So maybe your indexing publications only, and product development. Okay, maybe patents, maybe funding projects, consultants. I think you know. So this also be taken into this. Yes, you should bring this one concept into this student projects. Okay, if you make your students to do very good projects, if you make your student projects into papers, then it's very easy to reach the target. Otherwise, very difficult. You are teaching 2 courses. Some laboratories are there. Very difficult to get published unless you take the help of the students to publish papers. Yes. Now coming to the last one. Yeah, that is the faculty extension activities. So professional development. Yes. As I told, now how the faculty are supposed to get updated. Have you conducted any FDPs, or have you attended any FDPs? Have you taken up any memberships? How active you are in professional body memberships? Okay, so all those things will come into picture. So what is your contribution to the department? What is your contribution to the institution? When you keep all these parameters into the what you call API form, automatically it is very for the institution to maintain the quality. Yes, of course, the institutionalization of the best practices, of course, it is one of very big topic. So the practices that are released and found best should be made as the best practices. Then after 1 or 2 years, it is not going to be best practice. It is going to be a regular practice. Okay, now, yes, one more the activity that Iqsc is taking care is by applying for various rankings. Look at this, yes. So NIRF, look at this NIRF, because of the, so we don't get suddenly 141 rank. This year we got 141. It's not one day. It's not one day. So as we keep practicing it, okay, as we keep releasing the targets and checking, assessing faculty, department continuously, we actually, in 2018, yes, maybe 151, 200. This year, 2021, we got 141. Okay, so not only that, of course, we are, yes. And then, yes, especially people who are going for the cycle 1 and cycle 2, this is very important, especially people who are going for a NAAC cycle 1 to cycle 2. Yes, as Professor Sivakumar sir was telling, AQR plays an important role when you are going for cycle 2. Okay, then you have to show what is the improvement. Why there must be some improvement between cycle 1 and cycle 2. Okay, so what are the parameters that we consider? IQSC was there, maybe cycle 1 may not be strong. What was IQSC? Then what was IQSC now? How strong it is? What you did? Okay, so people should know the power of IQSC. Okay, it's not a single person, it is a system. It's not me or it's someone else, it is a system. Okay, so how many faculty were there in first cycle with PhD faculty? Okay, what is the percentage? Is it 30% or 40%? What is the funded project? Is it 1 crore? Now it became 12 crores. How many patents were there? At that time only 7 or 8 were there. Now it may be 80 or 100. How many publications are there? Now, as of now, we have 900 publications. Okay, R&D centers. At that time, no research centers. We have now 3. What was the built-up area? Of course, okay, this everyone will have. What about the placement? Once upon a time, only 60 to 7%, 70% of students are placed. Now almost all reaching 100. Accreditations, all, only 4 UG programs are accredited with Tier 2. Now all 6 UG programs are accredited in Tier 1. What was our grade? Maybe something. What is now? Okay, how many MOEs are signed? How many MOOCs courses are certified? Okay, so what was the, is there incentive policy? So you must be in a position to show the increments, okay, developments from cycle 1 and cycle 2 due to the initiatives taken by the IQAC to improve the quality of institution, so that the students will get benefited, faculty will get benefited, department will get benefited, and of course the institution, overall the society will actually look at you. Okay, so let me conclude this. The IQAC never ceases an opportunity to improve the overall quality of learning teaching process. It should continuously adopt the best practices. We should not actually follow the old methods. We should do away the unproductive and obsolete practices. We should keep update the practices. Once it is once you think that it is obsoleted, you should do away. You should go for the new one. That's all. Thank you and all for patient listening.
Thank you, sir. Dear participants, if you have any doubts, you can raise the questions here. Participants, if you have any queries, you can ask here. You can unmute yourself and you can ask.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, Dr. Senthil Kumar from New Prince, sir.
Yes, tell me, sir.
Sir, I have one doubt, sir.
Please ask.
Sir, regarding the criterion-based assessment, NAAC dated 1/3/2001, they have give some revised assessment regarding the criterion-based, sir, dated 1/3/2001. In that, the key indicator criterion 3, they have mentioned for the 3.1 and 3.5. The 3.1 is the promotion of research and facilities, and the 3.5 regarding consultancy. In key metrics, they have mentioned that it is not applicable to affiliated colleges, sir.
Okay.
So I need some clarification regarding this, sir. As we belongs to affiliated college, whether these two metrics are applicable for us or no need, sir?
Yes, actually, I am completely aware of only the autonomous institutions. I am not completely aware of the affiliated institutions. Of course, certain parameters maybe you can go, but you have to look for the latest guidelines, because
Yes, sir. 1/3/2001 only they have given in the NAAC website, sir.
2021 or 22?
21, sir. 1/3/21.
Okay, so you are talking about 3.1.1?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, research facilities. Are you talking about research facilities?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3.1 and 3.5.
Okay, 3.1 actually it is.
They have put on asterisk and regarding the 3.1 and 3.5, whatever mentioned is not applicable to affiliated colleges.
Okay, then it no need.
Yes, sir.
If it is mentioned, I think no need to worry about it. But because for affiliate institutions, as sir was telling, let less weight. Don't worry about the facilities, because affiliate institutions very difficult to establish research centers, etc.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Sir, this is Sri Priya from Chennai. It's regarding consultancy services, what Sir is asking exactly. if so, the institute must have a consultancy as a whole or department wise, sir?
Yes, actually, for the it is only for the institution, madam, because unless the departments claim it, institution cannot claim it, because a department of civil engineering may have consultancy in one area, but especially for CSC and EC may not have consultancy. So when I say consultancy, the institution level only, of course, when you are applying for NBA, it is actually related to the departments. When you are applying for the NAAC at the institution level only. So when I say consultancy at the institution level, definitely it is related to one specific department, maybe because unless it is consultancy is a subject expertise, na? So definitely it is related to one particular department.
Sir, can I answer for the previous question, sir, if you don't mind, sir?
Okay, no problem.
This is Showpermal, sir. Actually, 3.1 is exempted for affiliated, sir. Maybe the number is same, but the criteria is different, actually.
Yeah.
3.1, the criteria is right. If you look at, as you say, 1st March 2021 manual,
okay.
3.1 is the earlier, the university, it is more connected to policy, okay. But for affiliated colleges, it is resource mobilization only. It is not connected to policy. So number is 3.1, but criteria is different. So because the manual is different, 3.1 in university is different, 3.1 in affiliated college is different. So you are exempted in the 3.1 and 3.5 of university. So here if you see 3.1, it will be different, but 3.1 will be there. So different topic is different, sir. That's what I...
Yes, exactly.
I don't know whether I could clarify. If in the university, 3.1 is promotion of research and facilities. That is exempted for affiliated colleges.
Yes, sir.
But
Yes, sir.
in the affiliated college, 3.1 talks about resource mobilization for research, which is 3.2 for university. It is not applicable. So similarly, consultancy is 3.5 in university, but for affiliated college, there is no 3.5 itself. So it's only four criterions.
Only 3.1.3 is there. That's all.
Yes, correct. So it is correct as per the manual. Whatever we spoke, the research, promotion, innovation ecosystem, consultancy are not considered for affiliated college. There is no doubt. It's correct. The number you don't match directly because once the parameter is removed, they give a different number only. So 3.1 is different for university, 3.1 is different for college.
Yes, yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Any other queries from the participant side? Okay. Sir, Nakishwara, sir, shall we end the session?
Yes, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We feel proud to have you joining our session besides your busy schedule. Definitely the ideas and the session and the suggestions you provided regarding the role of Iqrc to enhance the quality in higher educational institutions would definitely be very useful for us. And I thank all the participants for your kind cooperation. Let us have a short break for lunch, and I request all of you to join us again by 1:25 p.m. for the afternoon session. The feedback link will be provided during the last session. Thank you. Once again, I thank Dr. P. Nageshwar Rao sir and Dr. S. Sivaperumal sir. Thank you, sir. Durga ma'am, shall we end the session, ma'am? Durga ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Shall we end up the session, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. We can wind up the session and we can meet after the lunch.
Yes, ma'am. So thank you all.